Hey, it's Mazzy and welcome back. Album covers, weird ass album cover designs. Think about this. There's so many great album covers. That's the one thing that we love about vinyl and the 12-inch format. Some designers and artists have gotten really carried away. Some very successful and others not so successful. Sometimes they've probably blown the wad on the budget. And having worked with designers from on the photography side as a photo agent and art directors, sometimes you get these really elaborate, really cool designs that exceed the budget of the printing and the pressing and the whether it's die cuts and gatefolds and special posters and everything. Now, this is just a list of some that I pulled from my collection, not definitive whatsoever. So if you have others, by all means, pull them. No box sets this time. And some of them, again, as I said, some of them are very successful and obvious, and some maybe a little more obscure and like what the fuck moments. Really? You thought of that? That's really useful. Think about the use of it later on. So, okay, let's start out with one of the most obvious ones. I think this is so successful. Of course, Andy Warhol's great cover for the first Velvet Underground album, 1966. This is a copy I got in 1970. I had a 66 copy that got peeled, and in 1970 I picked another copy up and I never peeled it. So, great record. Andy Warhol, of course. That's a successful use of the format. Now, this is a great record, and for a while we always thought it was very uncommon, and because of the record. This is my original copy. This is Dave Mason's Alone Together on Blue Thumb Records. And of course, it's one of those like really, shit-ass high gatefolds. Come on, you need a trifle. I get it's the art thing, but it's very cumbersome and it's not very efficient. But of course, we all wanted it because the first pressing was one of the very early marbleized pressings. Was this 1970, 71, I'm thinking. And I should say who designed this. Tom Wilkes and Barry Feinstein. Tom Wilkes was a designer, obviously great designer. Camouflage Productions, and with the great Barry Feinstein, great photographer. Little unwielding. So there you go. Okay. This is my original copy, and fortunately, so far, it's still intact. That's another problem with this type of some of these concepts. They don't hold together very well. And this is my original American copy of the Wailers' Catch a Fire with this lighter. And of course, most of the time you see these, as you can see the details, they have gotten fucked up. It's very fragile. Art direction, John Horley. Design, Rod Dyer, great designer, had a great firm. I worked with his firm once, years later. But anyway, be careful at your own risk. Of course, later on some of these, you'll note, and you probably know from your collections, they threw away these original designs and just went for the normal designs. Of course, you also have the round printed cut corners, and those of you who have been on press checks and printers, everything costs more. Every little uptick and thing you do costs more. So, but Island Records, the Wailers were very profitable for them. Now, going back to another Andy Warhol cover, and of course, it's the famous Sticky Fingers with the zipper. This is an original American copy, yes, with the zipper still intact, with Joe DeLisandro from the Warhol's Factory bump. Can I say bump on YouTube? Bump. The problem with this is not the cover. Of course, later they stopped making the zipper. I can't get the zipper down. That happens quite a bit for some of us. But the problem with this, if you don't put it in these sleeves, and a lot of people like to put a little cardboard in front of it, you screw up the record that comes right after this. It wears on that. And the back of the neck stones was at Exile on Main Street, I think. A lot of people, I bet you, have worn back copies of Exile because of this zipper there. Now, this is a 1973 or 4 reissue of Odd Gone Nut Flake by the Small Faces. Kind of a really cool record. This APCO put out, and Fortunate enough, they put it in this little slipcase so you could have it sealed. Mine's a little ripped. But this is how the record originally came out. This is a what the fuck design. Like, what the fuck, the record falls out. Not even in a friggin' inner sleeve, because you can't get around inner sleeve. This is, I mean, this is great art. I love this, but it's like a what the fuck design. Come on, give me a break. But great record. I love Small Faces, Odd Gone Nut Flake. Gone Flake, did I leave out a word there? But I don't even know who designed that. Yeah, I always feel it's great to credit photographers, designers, art directors. Do they have it here in this version? Actually, but it's kind of cool inside too. It's very psychedelic-y. But of course, then you put your fingers on it and someone's gonna get pissed at me that Maslov. You put, I mean, this is fun, but it's like, it's a what the fuck thing. This kind of trend happened for a while. Like, this was a really bad trend, right? Ethan Russell took the photographs of the cover art. And it's like, again, you got to make a custom record sleeve. This is a UK. Let's see, who designed this? Cover and liner oh yeah, Ethan Russell did the photography. You know, okay, this is bullshit. There's no credit for the friggin' designer on this. You know, I don't like that. Maybe it's missing, something's missing here, I don't know. So anyway, but come on, really? Like, whoops. A design so stupid, you do it twice in a row on 2 albums in a row, and you're right? And that's Traffic. These are good albums. This is when they got a little more progressive-y, jazzy in a way, long-winded songs. I'm a big fan of Traffic, of course. Stevie Winwood, Jim Capaldi, Chris Wood on flute, who really added a nice sound, and then Rebop Kwakuba was sort of this African percussion thing. I saw them around this time. I think Jim Gordon's on this record too, great drummer, I think. Okay, this is cover designed by Tony Wright. Thanks, Tony. Do a die cut. Kind of, I see what he's doing here, this conceptual kind of, but you see what's happening, okay? But then he does it again. This is an original UK, and I have a different sleeve, so the sleeve fucking sticks out. I probably put it in a different sleeve over the years. Another cool Traffic record. I think Barry Beckett and Hood is on here. Does it say who designed this? Again, probably the same person, Tony Wright. Cover illustrations, photography, Tommy Wright. Anyway, Traffic, weird shape, right? Shapes of things to come. Now, if you have the budget of any of the Beatles, now the Beatles albums really didn't get crazy ass, except, you know, Sgt. Pepper was a lot at the time to photograph it. I'm not showing great photography because that's not what this video is about. That had the insert and the inner sleeve created by The Fool and Peter Blake's great artwork. But John Lennon's Walls and Bridges, his illustrations from when he was a kid, and die cut. I can show so many die cuts, and I didn't show Led Zeppelin Physical Graffiti. I didn't show Monty Python's Matching Tie and Handkerchief. But look, this is kind of like, okay, mine copy is intact. I have an original UK and original Capitol thing, but they're kind of fun. You can fold these over and you can have fun with it. John Lennon, Walls and Bridges. Now, sometimes you get a record with an interesting design and you open it up and it scares the crap out of you. You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm talking about? Maybe you don't. You just get it and you bring it home and you open it up and that didn't go well, did it? I forgot that it doesn't work that way. It works that way. Jethro Tull. This is fun. I like this. I could just see at the presentation, you want what? No design credit. Thanks a lot. You know, designers they always forget designers. And I think art directors and designers are a really big part of this. And so I've known many, I've worked with many over the years. So if you're a designer, art director, I love you. Now this is one that's really kind of cool. Ooh La La by The Faces, when they dropped the small. They got some tall guys in the band. And of course, this is a little more complicated. You know, you open it up and you see like backstage without the working, you got to put it in and you got to move it around. And this is where I think it one fails. It's kind of cool, but you got to, and then it has this, and then you got to move the eyes go up. I can't even do it. So there you go. Yeah, we'll phone you. This is an import. This is Grimm's. Again, this is just an example of a cool die cut. Oh, this, see, this is, you can't remember how this, there we go. Now Grimm's, that's Mike McGear, Paul McCartney's brother, and Neil Innes plays on it, obviously, from Monty Python and the Ruddles. It's Mike McGear, Roger McGough, so the band Scaffold, the UK comedy musical troupe, and they did several projects. I don't know if you ever saw Neil Innes' album, How Sweet to Be an Idiot. I need to feature that in one of my videos, but this is kind of cool, but you know, right? Someone's gonna get upset that I throw my records. I still take really good care of them. Another die cut thing. Die cuts, I mean, 70s was the king of the die cut things. Like, this is not a great record. This is a soundtrack when Nielsen was just getting drunk with Ringo Starr and T-Rex, Mark Bolan, and they were hanging out. And this is this kind of not great movie, Dracula, Son of Dracula, starring Harry Nilsson. This is one of those things. Let's get together. This reminds me of sort of the Sinatra Rat Pack movie, Ocean's 11, the first one. Hey, we're hanging out, drinking, and performing every night in Vegas. Let's get the studio just to pay money and make a movie. We can just hang out and drink. That's pretty much what this is. But it's kind of a cool die cut, right? This isn't a great record, but it's, you know, I'm a big Nilsson fan, Harry Nilsson. This is an American copy, United Artists, a British band, kind of rock bluesy, proggy, a little, you know, family. I like this cover. This is a Fearless Family. It's like just a die cut again. I mean, did they even make enough money to pay for this kind of die cut and this kind of printing on these records? I have no idea. Okay, let's see who the art director is. Cover design, oh, John Kosh. I love John Kosh. I met John Kosh. I worked on an album cover that for the Kronos Quartet for Nonsuch that Kosh art directed. Kosh was in LA, British fellow, but he had been in England. He did all the Linda Ronstadt records in the 70s, but he's probably more well known for, he did Abbey Road and he did the Let It Be cover art and did some other stuff for some solo Beatles. But Kosh, cool guy, cool records, some very famous records. I didn't realize he had done this till just this moment. I got this from the Coleman collection, but this is obviously Led Zeppelin 3. And it's got the wheel, you know, can you remember that? Well, the wheel needs to be greased. I need to lube this wheel, it's stuck. But you know that, of course, physical graffiti you could do. You know, they had money, they were selling records. So UK copy. Now I did recently, I showcased some stuff with Jefferson Airplane. I don't know how the crap they got RCA to spend so much money. They had their own sub-label, Grunt. And they did 2 records in a row with very elaborate packaging. And this one is a good record. This has grown on me. I still have my original bag. This is bark. Like it's like a grocery bag. How cool is that, right? Bark. And then you pull out the album. Of course, Paul Kantner has marijuana leaves hair there. Like, look at that illustration. But then you pull it and you get the fish wrapper inside for bark. You know, what's that about? And this is a Maslov edition. I don't know why did I write my name? Thank God I didn't write it on the bag. But there's a period of time, 72-ish, I was doing that. Or I think 72, 73. Let's see who designed this. Package, concept, and design, A.C. Lehman. Okay, I don't know who that is. Art direction, and then it says A-Train, art direction, and bag poem, G. Blackman. So wherever you guys are, Jefferson Airplane, I love this one. Good record too. Joey Covington's on it. Good music, good music. This is their worst album, and aside from their greatest hits, that's called the worst of the Jefferson Airplane, their best of, Long John Silver. Now, mine's in pristine shape, but the thing is, it has instructions in die cut, how to open it up and assemble it and make a stash box out of it. So you open it up, you pull out the cigars, and behind it is hidden the stash, right? You have a box. You actually make, and I know people have folded this up and made it into a box. The nice thing about my albums back in the day, I didn't make them into things that would take away from the original unfolded record. So that's where my Virgo-ness comes in. I'll let my friends do it so I can see what it looks like. And mine are pristine, and theirs got all messed up and fudged up. Jefferson Airplane. Okay, this is, paper thin. One of the best live albums ever. Love this record, but this kind of like light folder. This is actually a later MCA pressing, and they still did it. They put all the crap in it, and it's got the poster. I had this on my wall when I was a teenager at home. I just love this. One of the great classic 60s rock posters. And it's got talent, location, contracts and pictures and delivery notices, bill of ladings. Totally what a shit show. All that stuff. We liked ephemera. We liked all the stickers and stuff that came in records. But this is kind of like a messy design. It's not really useful personally. Then we get into, the Beatles obviously put Sgt. Pepper, which I said, but the Rolling Stones tried to emulate. Brian Jones wanted to emulate Sgt. Pepper somewhat. And they used the same photographer, Michael Cooper, and they put out this. But they went with this lenticular cover. So I like this, but this, you had to be careful because ASMR. Anyway, you know this one, so I don't have to say anymore. Like this, but look what came out just last year, I think. How cool is that? So this is my double lenticular moment. Jesus loves you, and so does Mark Oliver Everett. What's his name? Mark Everett. I love the Eels. Good record. Eels. Jerry Hayden designed this, and it still smells. The thing is, she has smog design now. She designed this. Oh, it smells like patchouli oil. They worked with, I think, the inks or the paper or something in when they pressed this, and they dropped patchouli oil. Madonna wanted to smell like patchouli oil, and it still does. So I need to carefully slip this back. Another record I don't have in here, two records. The Raspberries, their second album smelled like raspberries. So you'd go to the R section, it would smell like raspberries. And then there's the other die cut, which was the basket of raspberries. I don't have that record anymore. Is that called side 3, I believe? That's a good one. This is great. Now, I love this. This was really cool at the time. The Bee Gees' Odessa. And this is a really good record. They're psychedelic period, grandiose, thematic, but touch the velvet. ASMR. This is the most unruly album cover maybe I have. Unruly that it's cool, but it's very impractical to put anywhere. It's by Griff Rhys, who is also the lead singer, has been the lead singer of the Super Furry Animals. He's a Welsh singer. I love his solo records. I love Super Furry Animals. And this album is called Babelsberg, and this is the special edition. Doesn't look so strange. It's not die cut. It's not cut. It hasn't been scored. It's not a gatefold. It's the size of 2 records, but it's flat. Are you friggin' kidding me? You have to lie it on a surface or, get some sun or something. Look at that. See how the color changes too? It's this metallic-y thing. But look at this. It's this big size, and you pull the record out. Okay, which is great. Poly sleeves. I love this painting. Look at this. Look at this. Now, if you look closely, okay, you're going to see that. You see the color, how it shifts with the light? That is so cool. But this is a better way to show the image, because I do love this illustration. It's the 2 Jesuses, Jesus Christ and Donald Trump. What a great piece of artwork. Suitable for framing, right? That's why I had to stand up to make this video. I just knew, oh wow. And finally, I waited this to last just because it's basically the Origami Japanese pressed record that originally only came out in Japan. It finally came out on CD in America years later. I do have an autographed version of the CD by Carlos Santana at a photo shoot. And this is a great live album. This is Santana Lotus. I love this record. I think it was recently reissued somewhere, but this is the original copy. Now, first of all, it opens like this. You know, trifolds. No, oh, we got Jesus again. No wonder this didn't come out in America. Right, it's like, let's see, does it say who designed this? Probably here. Because I need to give credit to the designer. If there are design credits here, there should be. If I can't find them right now. So thanks for watching. Let me know some other unwielding, not just great photography or illustration, but crazy design covers, die cuts, gatefolds that pop out, that do really, I know there are a ton of others. So let me know, and thanks for watching. Thanks for indulging me in this artistic presentation for you. Mazzy loves you. Thank you.